Hello, Wrestling News Live family. This is Troy Smith. I'm using Troy Smith instead of my YouTube name because this is the name you know me as. I would like to respond to some of the comments that JJ and Trey made in the on the show tonight as response to some of the things that I said in the chat room. I mainly want to focus on them disagreeing with me because I said TNA was Matt Hardy in TNA is better off being a heel than a face. I think they could accomplish more long term with him being a heel right now than a face. They took offense to that. Trey even said I was acting like a dumbass, and that bothered me, but I've been called worse, so yeah. Hell, I've once been called a heartless monster, so after that, dumbass isn't so bad. So I decided that instead of typing a long drawn out email, I would do this response in audio format. And I'm going to talk about two things: why I think it would be better to have both Matt and Jeff as heels in TNA, and why I think you're going to accomplish more and make more interesting storylines and matches going forth with this Immortal storyline. I'm going to do it in two parts. First, I'm going to use some of their logic and some of mine. The second part, when I give my reasons, is going to lead into my thoughts of how to end the Immortal storyline. I was going to type it up, but I'd rather do it in audio format. So first, let's talk about Matt Hardy. I want to make two things clear. I am not a Hardy Boys fan. If I had my way, neither of them would even be in TNA. But since they're both there, I think you can get some better out of them being heels. I thought Jeff going heel was a good move because I just haven't been entertained by him at all. This Jeff going heel made me care about him for the first time in 5 years, and I would much rather see them going together as opposed to JJ and Trey's idea of him being a babyface and feuding with Jeff in order to bring him back to the good side. The first thing I want to say in response to that is this, and I actually want to use something that Trey said a while back. Now, I don't necessarily agree with this, but I'm just going to use what they have said against them. So this is me using things that they've said against them. Trey said a few weeks ago on the show that when we were having the debate about Jeff being him saying that Jeff should be a face, he used the argument that Jeff was a face in WWE, and WWE is the most successful company. He said, in the only company that's ever been made a lot of money, Jeff was a face. Well, trade off by that logic, then in the only company that ever made a lot of money, Hardy Boys feuds failed. So, by your same logic, it would still suggest that they shouldn't be feuding with each other. Plus, to JJ, since you continuously bash TNA's booking, let me point out something to this. Your idea... Well, actually, this is both to Trey and JJ. Hardy Boys feuds have been done in the WWE at least twice I can remember, and they've always been pretty much deemed failures. They just don't work. Really, how many times have tag teams feuding ever really did work? But you're essentially saying that you think TNA should take a feud that has failed in the WWE more than once and redo it. If it failed in WWE twice, what makes you think it's going to succeed in TNA? What makes you think TNA is going to take a feud that failed in the WWE and somehow they're going to do it better, considering your personal opinions of the TNA booking team? I personally don't have a whole lot of problems with booking team, but I'm just using that against you. You, JJ, constantly talk about how much you think the booking team sucks. So what makes you think that they would do a Hardy Boys feud better than the WWE did? If it sucked in the WWE, what makes you think it's going to be interesting and entertaining and sell tickets and draw money in TNA? That's my first question to you. Second is, who does it promote? Who does it get over? How does Matt feuding with Jeff get anybody over? Matt and Jeff are already as over as they're going to get. Who do you elevate? Who do you give a rub to with those two shooting each other? What do you accomplish in the long term? Third, if you did the feud, the entire IWC would just bitch because the Hardy Boys, two quote unquote WWE rejects, are getting all the screen time, and they're not helping get over or showcase any of the homegrown talent or helping get over any new talent. So I mean, what long term do you accomplish with Matt being the babyface and feuding with Jeff in an attempt to turn him back to the side of good? Who gets a rub? Who that needs a rub gets a rub from that. Who that needs elevation gets an elevation from that. I mean, who's gonna buy tickets to see Matt versus Jeff again when one, it's already been done twice in the WWE, and both times it sucked. That's where I'm coming from. That's what I'm saying here. So that's just using your logic. My reasoning is I think you could build a story with them as heels and build to a match against the Machine Guns. I think more people would be interested in seeing the Hardys versus the Machine Guns with some storyline and a meaning behind it, and I'm going to get to the storyline that I would do with it in a minute, than to see Matt and Jeff feud with each other. Maybe I'm in the minority here. So, WNL family and anyone on YouTube who happens to see this video, you tell me, would you be interested in seeing Matt? Would you be more interested in seeing Matt be a babyface and feud with Jeff in TNA, or leave them both heels and have them feud with some homegrown TNA talent? In this case, I'm going with the Machine Guns. I'm going to go ahead and get into Slammiversary. You know, at some point, this Immortal storyline is going to end with Dixie getting control of her company back, and it's going to build up to a match. And what better pay-per-view to do it at than Slammiversary? So how we do the storyline is we have the judge grant Dixie partial power in TNA, enough to be a big thorn in the Immortal side. They do some back and forth for a little bit, just getting through lockdown, getting towards June. And what you do is that leading the Slammiversary, you put out the challenge. Either one can make a challenge. The challenge is a winner take all contest at Slammiversary. Dixie's team versus Immortal's team. Immortal says we'll put up our own part of the company, you put up your part. Winner is full 100% owner of TNA, and the loser says bye bye and goes away. And there's going to be a best of 5. How we build up is going to be a best of 5 matches at Slammiversary. Dixie gets to make 2 matches, Immortal gets to make 2 matches, and then the two will agree on the tiebreaker match. Dixie makes the first match. She decides to do a Legends match. Ric Flair versus Sting. And the reason I'm going to go with Ric Flair versus Sting is that I think that those two, being the legends that they are, could still get some buzz and interest in a pay-per-view from older fans. I think there's a significant number of older fans who would like to see Sting and Flair wrestle for one more time. And while they're both older and they can't go the way they used to, I still think both of those guys are good enough that they could put on a good 15-minute match and make it very entertaining. I think both of those guys could still do. I think Sting and Flair, even today, could get in the ring right now and give you 15 good minutes. Probably 20. I think they could do 30. But we're not going to give them 30 minutes. We'll probably do like 15, maybe 20-minute match. Later that night, you have the Machine Guns in a match against somebody. It doesn't really matter who. It could be Gunner and Murphy, just for sake of argument. They beat Gunner and Murphy. They're celebrating, and from behind, Matt and Jeff hit the ring, take them out with chairs. Beat the shit out of the Guns. Bust them up, bloody them up a little bit. Beat them down bad. Jeff picks up the mic and says, "Match 2, Hardy Boys, Machine Guns," and just drops the mic and they walk off. Bam. There's your setup. fate of the company is on the line. You get a match that many people would say you was a dream match. You know, if you went to any new wrestling radio show, any chat room, any message board, and asked people to make a list of dream tag team matches they like to see, I bet every list somebody would put Guns versus Hardy Boys. Hardy Boys Guns would be on every list. And you can always turn the Hardy Boys back to face down the line. There's plenty of easy ways to turn them face. But let them be the heels in this match. Give us a dream match and have some meaning behind it. Fate of the company is on the line. Guns want to avenge the beatdown. It's a very simple storyline. It's clear cut. You know exactly who the faces are. You know exactly who the heels are. And you know why they're fighting. And as JJ said, that's what a wrestling feud is supposed to be. Clear cut baby faces, clear cut heels, clear cut reason why they are fighting. Let me check my time for a second. 10 minutes, 57 seconds. Okay. Third match would be Kurt Angle versus Jeff Jarrett. Fourth match, I'm thinking Matt Morgan versus Abyss. I may change that one. Fifth match, because it's going to go to the fifth and final match. Elimination tag match. Dixie's team, AJ Styles, who I've turned back face by then. Samoa Joe, Rob Van Dam, gotta hate RVD, and Mr. Anderson. Team Immortal is going to be Kazarian, Robert Roode, James Storm, and Rob Terry. Now, Rob Terry sucks in the ring, but we're going to eliminate him very, very quickly. Rob Terry and Joe are going to brawl to the outside after about 5 or 6 minutes into the match. Good 10 minutes into the match. Yeah, 10 minutes is enough. They're going to get double counted out. Immortal pulls some underhanded tactics to eliminate Rob Van Dam and Mr. Anderson. And that leaves AJ Styles versus his 3 former Fortune teammates. So AJ, the babyface, the hero, in order to save the company, has got to be Kazarian, Robert Roode, and James Storm all on his own. And you just let him play the babyface in peril. He's barely getting rid of him, but he fights through it. The crowd's behind him. They're cheering him on. And AJ just summons just something deep down to make him more phenomenal than he has ever been before, and he manages to pull it out. Beat all 3 of them. Wins the match, saves the company. His music hits, the confetti drops, the whole roster comes out, they hoist AJ above their shoulders, the whole crowd chant AJ, AJ. He is the face of TNA, he is the hero, he is the savior of TNA. You in the shot, AJ Styles. There you go. That's Slammiversary. That's 5 matches. You fill in the rest of the card with a couple knockouts matches. Throw a couple knockouts matches in the middle. Bam, there you go. Pay-per-view. Every match has a clear cut face and heel. You got a reason for them fighting. They're fighting for the future of the company. See, this time when Dixie goes on Twitter, instead of Dixie going on Twitter talking about real life stuff that's supposed to be changed TNA forever, instead do a storyline of something that's going to change TNA forever. At least this time when she says this night is going to change TNA forever, storyline wise, she's telling the damn truth. Alright, let me check my time again. Alright, I'm at 13 minutes. Alright, I'm at 13 minutes. This video is getting kind of long. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. Quick recap. My whole thing about Matt Hardy. If you do this storyline, Hardy Boy versus Guns, you have the Hardys put the Guns over. You give the rub to a team of the day. I just think more people will be interested in seeing the Hardy Boys together against the Guns than separately fighting each other. Again, if Matt versus Jeff has failed in the WWE twice, so with the WWE machine, Vince McMahon's money, the WWE marketing machine behind it, they could make Hardy Boys feud work and make people interested in it. What makes you think it's gonna work in TNA? Why would you tell TNA to redo a feud that has already failed twice in the WWE? That's my main question to you, Trey, JJ, anybody who sees this video on YouTube, and to the rest of the WNL family. I am a proud member of the WNL family. I love you both, you guys. Just disagree with you on this point. Much respect, much love to you both. This is Troy Smith signing off. Have a nice day.